So I went to college for 3 years, technically at 2 different colleges for 4, but I graduated a year early majoring in graphic design. The main reason I majored in graphic design is only because I took a class in high school where I was like, I need to make better thumbnails or learn how to do that, because all my 2016 thumbnails were like mediocre for like only knowing PicMonkey, but I wanted to like up my game. So since it was a school, they're gonna continuously give you criticism because they're trying to make you better as a designer. So a project is really never done. Like you'll have a really long time to work on it as if it's a real campaign or whatever. And then once you turn it in, you'll still get criticism on what you could have done differently or how to do it better next time. So because of that kind of, I don't know, methodology, what I ended up taking away was, if you have just bad designs in general, you can't have a successful business because good designs still could be improved, which this actually makes sense at first glance. But if you move to a city in 2.3 seconds, you will find that's not true. Tons of businesses that are successful, meaning they like actually sell their products somehow, have the shittiest designs, and it's really obvious. So today I thought it would be really interesting to go around and find a couple. I don't know how long this is gonna take, so I'm gonna find some designs and I'm going to redesign them and try and fix them. So the first logo we got is Nick's Super Burgers. It says "and Mexican food" underneath, but on the website it literally just states the Super Foods thing. I'm picking this logo for a couple reasons. One, Super Burgers is like, you know, stretched to fit on the sign, so I don't know if I'm gonna change that, but I don't know, it's just, there could be a lot of work done with it, because, you know, you just got an underline of the Super Burgers. I don't really know, I don't know, it's pretty vague. I think we can work with it. Okay, next logo we're picking is this Cajun food logo. For obvious reasons, I don't know why there's like wings, but I do know that, yeah, that's a little confusing of a logo, because like low-key from far distance, I don't know, maybe I'm just obsessed. I just see the YouTube logo with the white in the middle. The type isn't bad, and the name is actually kind of cool, but this like little imaginary crab thing with the face and the wings for some reason, it's not really doing it for me. Okay, and I think the last one we're gonna do is this brick basement antique shop, mostly just because it's just a text. I don't even know, is that Comic Sans? I literally don't know, but I think we could do a lot visually with this and like, I don't know, make like an icon or something, because that's a cool name, and I see a lot of potential.
So, all that footage you just saw is a week old. For starters, my power went out the next day. I thought, no biggie, I'm just gonna grind out some ideas and sketches at a coffee shop, then I'll come back, pick out some fonts, and boom, I could start working. Wrong. My power was out for 12 hours.
Okay, I just got back from the cafe because my power was out, and as you can clearly see, it's still not on. I'm having my flashlight on my phone, which is literally at 20%. Thankfully, Paris bought this giant case of candles for my birthday, so now I'm literally just gonna set these up all over the room, I guess, so I don't feel completely in the dark. Dude, that is dark.
So this week didn't go completely according to plan, but I still had time outside of work and everything to get all the designs done. Starting with Nick's, I had a pretty good idea as to how I wanted to improve it, or like what I wanted to try first through the sketches, which was mostly making it more impactful and more solidified. The term Super Burgers really stood out to me because I've never heard a burger place say that. So when designing, I wanted to make sure it was impactful, more solid, just bold. That's why I went with a bold font family. And then also I gave it an incline to the top right to kind of give off the idea of growth, or like fast, kind of. That's what a lot of logos do. If it's racing or something, they always go to the top right, because naturally you read left to right, at least in the US. So growth is gonna happen left to right. Looking at the old logo, I did want to stay somewhat reminiscent of like whatever branding they had. I didn't do enough research onto like their menu and stuff, but I wanted to keep the red, because also red is like a big color in food. So I wanted to have red still be showing from the old logo, but I didn't want it to be as fast foody red. So I ended up making it a darker tint. I don't know, being a little bit more classy gourmet. Now that we have the new logo, we can throw it into Photoshop, get rid of the old sign with generative fill, generate a new pole sign, slap the new logo in there, emboss it, kind of make it look 3D so it looks more like a sign. I don't know anything about 3D because I'm a graphic designer, not a genius. Throw in a sky replacement, a non-photographer's best friend, and boom, we now have a perfect, somewhat mock-up of this new logo. Moving on to Bago Crab, this logo had a lot going on when I first saw it. Like I said, there's the wings, the random facial expression. I just didn't know what was happening with this logo. But for my original sketches, I knew two things. One, I was probably gonna design more in a badge style, so more like traditional to seafood and like that vibe, East Coast, and keep the visual of the crab on there, obviously. I'm a typography nerd. I like to keep things really simple. Some would call it boring and minimalistic, but I usually like sticking with shapes, type, that's just my vibe. So to stray away from what my safe space is, I wanted to keep that and kind of push myself with this crab vision. And honestly, this logo took a lot longer than the other logo. It was hard to find like a font family that fit Cajun seafood specifically. And then once I found it, I actually totally forgot to even include the words Cajun seafood in the logo. So I had to go back and just add that. But after that fix, it was pretty much the same process to like mock it up just without the sky replacement. Throw it into Photoshop, generate fill the logo so there's nothing there. Place the new logo in and get it to look 3D kind of like the old sign was. And bam, second bad design in public fixed. For the last logo, the Brick Basement, which was an antique shop, I knew for a fact I was gonna keep it typography based. Mostly because antique shops don't really have like a traditional or stereotypical icon where when someone sees it, they know that's a place where I can buy old shit. After some quick sketches, I realized I could actually stack the type in a way that makes it look like stairs going down to a basement, which I thought was really clever and a subtle way to kind of like show that idea. Then it literally came down to whatever font family I wanted to use, which was a lot of options. But after so many iterations, it kind of came to a point where the logo just looked like a random, I don't know, real estate logo you would just see. Or like you would walk down the street and just see this logo in the window and be like, what the fuck is this company? Like it just looked generic and there was no personality. I ended up picking this iteration because it kept that original kind of stair idea of going downwards, but also it had the font family that just fit the vibe. Also, since this business didn't have like a sign, it was just like on an actual like low-key piece of paper in the window. I took a picture of a different sign that had like a brick background and like stuck out like a traditional mock-up so I could actually work with it. But you know the routine by now. Throw it in Photoshop, generate fill a new sign in, and slap the new logo on there, making it look, again, like a real mock-up. So here are the 3 logos I started with, and then here are the 3 redesigned logos I finished with, trying to somewhat fix these public designs. I think maybe the total time I spent on this was like 8 hours-ish just on designing, not apart from filming this, filming the intro, whatever. Let me know which logos you guys liked and which ones, I don't know, you'd want to see in the future. Leave them down in the comments. If it's like a chain restaurant, then I guess I can like access that. In college, I did redesign the Dairy Queen logo because their new logo is actual dog water. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe and I'll see you guys in the next video.